Hey guys, what's up? It's Bob with the Bob Randall and Company Live Preview Show for a Monday, episode 16, season 2, May 22nd, 2023. Right over here, my friend, your friend, everyone's friend, one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. Luck would have it, he's my co-host, Magical Randall Santa Checker Lee.
Hello, everybody. Bob, I thank you so much. Boy, I'm glad all those introductions are recorded because I'm gonna use them as often as I can. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another Monday TGIM. As always, thank goodness, Bob. Hope you had a great week. You're looking fantastic. I like the hat, Bob. I'm looking forward to
Well,
mine when it comes in the mail.
gotta sport the swag, right?
Styling and
Gotta keep it.
profiling on Tuesday Night
Keep it going.
Live.
I wrote Rhonda this week and asked her because Angela had posed the question, "What about mouse pads?" And so she's working on mouse pads with the logo on it. So she and I both need new mouse pads. So I think it'll be a hot, popular thing to get. Anyone wants in on the swag? Fancy Lees with a S.com, FANCYLEES.com. Go over there, check it out, see what we got to offer, and of course, all proceeds above what it costs on the product, the small amount that we'll be taking, will be going to help keep this channel and our YouTube channels, both the Bob Randall and Company Live and the Tuesday Night Live shows, help support those and keep those going. There are costs associated with doing this. And after all, as Randy likes to say, what's that F word?
It's free.
That's right,
Woo-hoo!
our shows are free. So that's a good way to contribute and give back to us and help us out on keeping these shows rolling. Randy, man, we have got beautiful weather here. Slightly overcast, a few clouds here and there, sunny, warm, a little breezy today, but my goodness, at least we're not up in the 90s like we were a couple of days ago. Of course, this time of year, we'll hit that 90 mark, fall back into the low mid 80s, and a couple of days later, we're right back. So we're on the teeter totter part of the season right now. And I'm just dreading, dreading those 100 plus temperatures that'll be coming soon.
As long as that air conditioning unit's got plenty of freon in it, you're going to be all right. And we finally made it past that possible frost. We've kind of made it past that. It was a little chilly. I had an outside a birthday party, a magic show Saturday afternoon, and it was a little chilly out at the park, but at least it wasn't raining and it wasn't snowing. I didn't want to say that four-letter word, the snow word. That's a four-letter word. That's my least favorite four-letter word.
I close the Tuesday night live show out with a little saying: "Count your blessings, not your sorrows." I think that's appropriate right now. Right now, we're not hitting the 100-degree sultry weather, and you're beyond the frost. So I think we should count our blessings here.
Yes, sir. Gosh, look at the
Oh,
list already, Bob. Look at us here. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Fantastic, people. Good to see
wow!
everybody.
I hadn't even looked over to see who all was on. Got of course Parker's on, Santa Mark, Jackie
AJ and Kimmy
Chamberlain,
and Sean and Jackie and man, Diane. Good to see everybody.
AJ Rex. Yeah, Hot Rod Dan's on again. Good to see Hot Rod out and about. Nathan is on today. My goodness, just got a bunch of great folks chiming in. We don't thank them enough, I don't think, Randy, but we really do appreciate
Really,
you guys
really.
jumping in with us. We couldn't do this without you. I always like to say that too. I'm full of sayings, but they're all really true. And we really appreciate those of you who chime in and also contribute to the something burger. Are you ready for that?
Yeah. Oh, something. Yes, I am. I had
Let's
an
go
early
get it.
breakfast too. I'm ready. I had omelet, but I'm ready for lunch.
All right, this is the point in the show where we want you, our audience, to give us your best answers, what you think. These are audience participation moments. We got two questions for you. I'm going to let Randy throw his at you first.
Yeah, again, thank you guys, everybody. You guys have been just phenomenal. It's wonderful you guys join us every week. But this is a pretty easy. It's kind of like a survey, kind of like what I did last week. Also the same thing. what types of events or gigs do you prefer? And I guess the biggest reason is why. Do you prefer mall visits where you like, you're going to do that 200 hours a year and you're going to make your 10, 12, whatever, 15, whatever, you're going to make it? Do you really prefer house visits because you like the closeness of the house? Do you prefer corporate visits? What do you prefer? What type of gigs do you prefer, and why? Because there's so many different things available for us Santa and of course Mrs. Claus now, to perform, and everybody I'm sure has the preference, what they enjoy. Some guys, all they want to do is really do photography work, and that's fine. Just kind of curious, you know, curious why. Why do you like your certain gig, Bob? How about you? What?
Gosh, Randy, I like them all. I like them as long as the children are there. They're enthusiastic. They get me pumped up. My heart gets to flowing, and boy, I get excited and I come alive. And but I understand where you're coming from here. So I really do enjoy the photography work early in the season. And then for me, it's that mall. I go to the mall. I've mentioned this many times on both shows. I like the structure of the mall because I know what time I've got to be there, when my lunch break comes, how long it's going to be, what time I get to go home. I'm familiar. I'm comfortable. It's only a mile from the house. I know how much I'm going to get paid. I know my paycheck is going to be in the bank, just like clockwork. So I really love that. But I love all the business. I mean, home business have their special. Corporate work has its specialties. Mall work is a little bit different beast that some guys like, some guys don't. But I think everybody likes the photography end of it. I think for me, if you work with multiple photographers, that you get such a variety of different scenarios that pop up because each photographer has a little bit different way of doing things. And I just love it all. I'm so blessed to be able to do this job and, portray Santa Claus. And gosh, I don't know. I'd probably be sitting on the couch getting big and fat and lazy if I didn't have something to do. So this keeps me busy. It keeps me out of trouble.
You see, that's exactly what Bob's saying. That's why I was posing, because there's such a variety that you can do a little bit of everything, or if you don't want to, that's fine. That's what's great about the business now. Before, years ago, what was there for Santa to do? Maybe home visits and malls. That was it. And now, of course, it's nice to get that variety. Like, I mean, I do, and you're not allowed to say those words, but the big box store, of course, I do one of those for so many hours a week. But that just guarantees me my Monday through Friday work during the day, during December and all that. I know that check's coming in, and then I book some other, like, and it's kind of what I do on weekends is Birmingham, Santa House. It's kind of like a big box store or a mall because I'm there 6 8 hours a day, but it's a little different because it's not quite a country club, but it's not quite a mall. It's kind of halfway in between, of course, and house visits. I get to do all the extras. So like Bob's saying, everybody, we have such a variety and we can do anything. And so I'm just curious but I like definitely what Bob says is, like, your paycheck is coming in, then you can, you do a rent around it. I see Kimmy says she loves her vendor work. I know Kimmy wasn't feeling good the other day and she missed one of her things. So sorry to hear that, Kimmy. But it's great to do special, especially for Mrs. Claus. Now there's so many opportunities to do those type of things at churches or libraries or schools or whatever that Mrs. Claus can run. It says Facebook. It's whoever the Facebook that is. I love big box shopping good stores, gigs. Again, that's what's cool about those is like Bob said. The time you got to go to work. The time you're done. And most of the time, you're going to be busy, and that
That
is
was that was from Rex.
Rex. Oh, hi, Rex. So, yeah, that's see, that's what's good about those is those things we know, and we can still be Santa. We're still Santa. We're still interacting with the children, like Bob said, as long as the children are there. Um,
Yeah.
Kimmy's got another one here. The vendor events are just for Mrs. Claus, not with Santa. Oh, so you don't want to work with Santa? Ah, okay. My goodness, how can you not work with somebody like us?
And the next comment is Rex again, especially the Christmas festivals and parades I'm involved in his hometown.
And then Jackie, hi Jackie. Um, Big splashy events. I mean, they are. I mean, that's what is, like I said, is so cool. We all like to do a little bit of everything, especially when we get to do like a parade or a big grand opening. That is that big splashy event, something that's very very, Santa can wear his big robe, or the Mr. and Mrs. Claus can, dress up together. And that's what's good, especially Christmas festivals, parades. Yep. I'm involved in my hometown. Okay, got that. Big splash events. I crave the attention. And it does feel good. I can't say anything against that, Jackie. It does feel good because and that's what we are. We're entertainers. So if we don't crave that a little bit, we can't get excited when something's going on. So that is
we're
exactly
not
what it's
riding
no different than an actor getting excited on stage or something. It's the thrill. It makes you feel better. So that is very, very true.
we're not
Next
right
week.
in the head if we don't crave it a little bit. Parker's got a good one here. He says, "I'm not sure which I like best. I'm still trying to get over my fear of children."
um, Teenage girls scare me the most. Be honest with you. Be honest with you, Scott Parker. You get those teenage girls there, and they scare me the most because I most of the time you don't know what they're going to say, and you got to be careful what to say back. You can't be too cutesy. You can't be too adulty. Adulty, that's not the proper English. So it's like it's
Works for me.
it's gotta. I agree. You got to get over your fear of the children. Sean enjoys extra large events. The bigger, the better. I mean, because that's then you can do the grand opening. Exactly, Sean. That's fantastic. It is. I mean, it's fun to do the intimate. You go to a house party and you see them grow up, and you have 3 or 4 people. But man, when you can just, it's like doing the big stage. I love them all. Adventure, the journey of them all. And that's where we are very fortunate. We can experience all those. Who's that Facebook?
That's from Erica Moesha.
Erica Moesha. That's exactly. I mean, it's what you're saying, and I know they did it years to a couple. When they were doing it, they did every kind of event imaginable, and that's what's. We are very fortunate that we can do. I mean, like I said, from the small intimate parties at home, maybe a few little families, or if we do the small screen, we do virtual, which is a small intimate thing, to a 2 hour parade, then a grand. I mean, everything in between. So, Santa Mark loves a parade. Meet them all at once. The biggest thing is, and I said this before, the biggest thing is getting off those floats. I always, when I'm on a float, I'm waving, and in the back of my mind, I'm going, "Oh, please, Lord, help me get down off here. I can't wait to get on the ground. I can't wait to get on the ground." I'm saying to myself, because I always get nervous to make sure that I get down off that float as gracefully as you can. Um, to get down, then to go meet everybody, because you don't want Santa to go tumbling down. Because think about it, we can go from rooftop to rooftop and like that, but we take forever to get off a float. So
Don't
it's
want
kind of a
don't want to split your trousers out the back either. Those floats, it's a long way to the ground.
a long ways. Yes, yes. Next Facebook user, I don't know who that. Gets see who that is.
That's Rex again. Truth
Rex again.
is,
Yep, yep. The truth is I get to put on a suit, and I am going to love whatever is going. And bingo, you know, bingo. That is true. Um, Sean, Winter Wonderland in Ohio, mostly on my own. Hundreds of, I mean, see, that's again, we're performers. That's what gets us ground up and wound up, and we can do that. It does. It helps. Okay, now Kimmy's got Ellen because I'm not noticed when Santa is. You're not noticed when Santa's okay. When is Kimmy? That hair and that not noticed when Santa's there. I'm sorry. I can't go along with that one, Kimmy. I just don't. But you can stand your own ground. You can. We know you can. You're a great performer out there. Daycares, 10 to 12 children. See that again? That's the same thing. We can do those intimate things, man, and that's what's wonderful. Look at the people we have here online, and it's across of everything that we enjoy, and we're lucky enough to be able to do that. Lucky enough.
that comment was from Hot Rod Dan in Kansas.
Oh, Dylan, how are you? I love the special needs the best. Wow, and I got to know who that is. I got to talk. That's the special needs vendor events.
That's Parker.
Man, that's they can be very, very emotional, but boy, they can be so, so gratifying when you're done. You know,
They are.
and that's the thing. They can be just pull at your heartstrings like crazy, and you're doing this half the day because, but they are
Mhm.
just so full of love and so full of like just joy and thrill to see you.
And
That
you know, at some of the classes that come to see me at the mall from the independent school district here, the special needs are some of the hardest to really work because they each have their own little, situation that the special needs that they have. But you've always got one or two that I've got one that literally have learned to stay 20 feet away from because he loves to pull beards. And I
oh
don't mean just pull beards. He gets two handfuls with everything he's got, and he's a grown kid. I'm talking about a high school, and
wow
just wants
wow
to jerk. And it takes two or three of the teachers to get his fingers unlocked out of my beard. First
ooh
couple of years, I fell for it. I'm not falling for that anymore.
yeah, and they
I
can
just
be
wave and keep my distance.
I mean, and they don't know their own strength. They
No,
don't know their own
no.
strength at all. I know the big box store I work at, we during the day we have quite a few. They bring the bus a few times a week, and it is you have to know, and a lot of times like I said, you learn the hard way, Bob. I'm sorry, that's you learned the hard way for a few times that young man, but sometimes some of the handlers know, if they are that way, but like
Yeah.
you said, it is a wonderful thing to do, and we get a chance to make them happier in the life that they're going through. I mean, that's
Well,
the thing.
that's what got me about this particular first time that it happened. I'm sitting in my big green chairs when I was using the big green chair. There's room for me and then a student on either side of me. And for some reason, the handlers put him right here next to me. And of course, two or three times, and I was ready to get out of the chair. So I had a stool behind the chair. I said, "Put them in the chair, set them around the arm, have them, but I'm going back here
And
and go up
I got the
above the chair and do my little deal." And you know, and then that second
wow.
year came in. I guess I was stupid, didn't remember the boy, and they set him right next to me again. And I actually, the third year, realized here he comes. So again, I kept my distance.
Wow, wow. Next one we've got also turn on Christmas lights. Yeah, doing tree lighting ceremonies. I tell you, sometimes those things happen. Let's count down to from 10 or to 3, 3, 2, 1. Somebody didn't turn lights. You're doing the magic to having the tree lights turn on and nothing. The worst one is when this one city I do that has that big. They have like a big pole, like supposedly a big switch. The second, I think second year it was, it just didn't. Somebody wasn't watching to turn the lights on. But yeah, that's a great one we get to do. Jackie again, misstepping off the ladder. Ooh, of a truck. Ow. Yeah. See, and I've said this before about this. There's sometimes like on sleighs, the the place to put your foot is like this big, and it's just it's in our peripheral vision, and sometimes isn't that great. Hey, hello, Ben. How are you? Ohio. Oh, hi. Oh, join you guys today. Oh, sorry. I'm in the hospital with my son. Hope everything's all right. Sending a prayers, Ben. Hope everything's okay. All right. Um, caught myself, but I refer to a Lucille Ball moment. Thank goodness we all know who Lucille Ball is. Good old Lucy. Um,
Uh,
uh, that's great. Sean goes, she loves reading to special needs kids. Yeah, because they'll just, I mean, like I said a minute ago, we get to add, and Mrs. Claus gets to add to that few moments of their happiness. They seem to be happy most time anyway, but then we can just add that much more, and it's very lucky. Yeah, Kimmy said send a
Absolutely.
love to Ben and everybody. Make sure Ben's in the hospital with a family member. So let's send some prayers. Um, oh, hey, there you go, Rex. Now I can see you, Rex. Good, 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 good. Wow, man. Again, thank you guys. I just love all those interactions. uh, so many different things we do. And we've got so much talent here. It just blows me away that you guys have, and you've done all those things. And so thank you again. Thank you. Now, Bob's got a great question, guys. Thank you.
Yes, and of course, the experience of our audience speaks volumes, and just because you've done something a certain way for years, and the next guy may not have. So that's why sharing this information the way we do on Mondays is, for me, part of the what this show has become all about. And I love, love, love these segments.
It's
Okay, so
it's kind of like when
question.
I
Go
hate
ahead,
to butt
Randy.
in, Bob, but it's kind of like when you go to a convention, you go to a school, you get together afterwards, chit chat, and learn fellowship. It's kind of like this to me. That's what we're doing now. We're just bringing up a topic and we're just interacting, and that's kind of like what you do. Sorry, Bob, I didn't mean to apologize.
No, no, no,
Go ahead.
no. Glad you threw that in there. Okay, so at this point, let's go ahead. After the Christmas season, do you have a budget plan for your earnings? Do you budget for a school? Do you budget for costuming upgrades? And let's just put this into perspective. How much would you say your overall budget percentage would be for each? And again, this just gets us thinking about, of course, I'm sure the number one factor is going to be how much you make. If you only make 5,000, you're not going to have as big a budget as if you made 15,000. So that's natural. We understand that, but everybody has a percentage of what they can spend, and that's kind of what I was looking for. Do you budget for schools? Do you budget for costuming upgrades? And how much of a percentage would you say that is?
Yeah, I definitely budget for schools. I mean, I would love to go to more a year. I mean, but I know, okay, I've got this much money to go to this convention or this school, and then sometimes you get caught with your, no pun intended, staying with the pants down. You got to get an extra suit, so it costs you a little bit more that year. That's like when I lost my weight and I had to buy everything all over again. So that's where all my budgeting went for was all new suits. So I don't think I went to anything that year.
Yeah. And
So
sometimes you choose which is the most important. You may not be able to attend a school if you
yeah,
need a lot of upgrades in your costuming, and then vice versa. A couple of years when you do get a lot of the things that you needed or wanted or got to have stuff, and then you've got a little extra money, you can put that into schooling. But that was kind of where we were going with the question. Uh, Jackie Chamberlain says, at Santa Nana, we encourage everyone to tune into the show. Santa Nana, Deanna, Jackie, all you guys, Judy have been so good to us. And we
thank you.
encourage folks to go to Santa Nana. But that's something that we've always done, even, at Sat Bob's classes on our big screen, our slides. We talk about each one of the different opportunities out there. You're not our competition. Nobody is our competition. We're all in this together, and the more we can help, the more we can share. And each school has something a little bit different to teach. So there may be some similarities, but there's also a lot of differences when you get out there and really get to going and seeing what opportunities are out there.
And
Sean Marshall, last year I was able to triple it, but our goal is to double it from year to year if she can. Rex says part of mine goes to fund the 3 scholarships I sponsor for Mrs. Claus. The rest is for travel and replacement Santa things. That's a very good point, Rex. And yes, Rex does have 3 different Mrs. Claus scholarships that he gives away, and he's talked about it on the show. And those are
beautiful,
fantastic opportunities for those who may not have the budget
right?
to be able to go. If you can luck out and you get a scholarship, that changes everything. Let's see. Facebook user, we're going fast here. I can't keep up again. Let me back up on my deal here. Okay, that's Parker says this year I blew past my budget, but man, I got some awesome new wardrobe. Revamped my Santa look totally, and he did. He shared some of the pictures of some of the things that he's bought this year, and Parker went out on the limb, broke the bank, but he's got some really cool stuff to dress up and look his best this year, as he always does. Let's see here. Bart has joined us. Thank you for jumping in with us today, Bart. A little bit late, you said, but good to have you. Nevertheless, budget for costume, virtual studio, online, school props, additional training, ASL, etc. So pretty much a little bit for everything. Looks
And
like
then
Jamie Dozier is joining us from Alabama. Hope you was able to get out to the Alabama gathering this weekend, Jamie. I don't know. I haven't talked to anyone but Spangle, and we didn't discuss who all was there. their yearly deal along the river there at the pavilion that they do. I'm talking about the Cotton State Santas. Santa Mark says suit upgrades and a school depending on the budget. That's very true. And again, like I said, you may not be able to do both. Do one year, one the next. But again, always get out. Never stop learning. That's another thing I like to
And
talk about a lot is never stop learning. There's always opportunities out there to learn something and improve yourself.
that's the best thing, to keep on learning, because like every school has something different. Even if you've been to the school before, you can go again. I mean, it's you're going to meet up with other Santas or new ones or whatever. They're not always the same Santas every Mrs. Claus every year, also, which is part of to me, part of the learning too. And we all have a budget. Some people have to use it to pay the bills. We
Yeah.
need 50% of that, let's say, or whatever it might be, to literally pay the mortgage, and that's okay too. But it's always good to see what kind of little to put that away for our growth in the business and all. So Kimmy says outfit schools and gatherings this year she's going to do Santa Mark. Had a great time there. I think Jackie said because there's a no cost and we can learn so much. Okay, I think she was referring back to her other thing.
Yeah.
For here. Thanks, Jackie. That's very sweet of you. It looked like a great weekend at Santa Ana weekend. Really did some nice pictures.
They had a good time. Again, the Cotton State Santas had a great time with their yearly event that they do. Spangle traveled down there and took the trailer, as he does every year. Robert Ayer got the Beard Award for this go round.
Wow.
It's always good to see the guys get a little pat on the back for their beards for the hard work that they're trying to grow that beard and take care of it. Kimmy says, "Oh, and a new big hair from Mrs. Claus."
Like I said, you can't miss that hair, Kimmy. I'm sorry. That's like and you got a bigger one now.
Made me think about your comment earlier.
Did they make a pick that'll work for that, Kimmy? I don't know. I'm Detroit. I'm used to having hair picks.
Jackie says she met a new Texas Mrs. Claus at Santa Ana Holiday University this past weekend on scholarship. She is going to be phenomenal, well deserved. AJ, hi AJ again. School suit upgrades and new accessories. Boy, I tell you what, AJ is excited as I am to get to go to Branson here. It's clicking down fast now. It'll be here before we know it, AJ. You better be well rested because we got lots of stuff for you to do.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of 2 weeks. 2 weeks of that. 2 weeks of SOS. Wow.
Bart says also invest a lot for Mrs. Claus too. Wardrobe, wigs, props, etc. We want to really blow up her persona this year. Good point. Kimmy says no. I need a new one, Randy.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said you got a new one. I apologize. Oh, a new tick or a new wig?
Segment, man. I love these segments. This something burger has really turned into something. It really has, and
fantastic.
I look forward to them each week. Look forward to what question Randy's going to pose, and then that throws me for a loop because I got to find something that's going to pique your interest also, and lots of fun here. All right, guys. Thank you. Comments have been coming in, so let's get over here and do the trivia. SantaCloset.org. You ready?
Sounds good.
Hey everyone, Elf Angela Mack here for Bob, Randyl, and Company Live. The show about nothing. Bob, Randyl, and Company Live is brought to you by Santa's Closet. Santa's Closet has been delivering unique, value-packed Santa and Mrs. Claus accessories since 2004. Santa's Closet's main goal is to provide both a superior customer experience with tremendous value for their customers. Santa's Closet brings more than 400 separate products to the Claus community at a reasonable price. Santa's Closet is under new ownership. Let's welcome Santa Wade and Scarlett Kaufman of Tennessee, whom will continue the tradition of bringing you products of unparalleled quality and design. Don't forget to visit their sites at santascloset.org and support their efforts of bringing quality products to the community. This is Angela Mack reminding you to catch our show every Monday at 3 p.m. Central. Thanks for watching. Now let's get back to Bob, Randyl, and Company Live and today's Monday Santa's Closet Trivia.
Couple of quick notes here before we jump into the question itself. AJ, you have come out of timeout today, so you are eligible to play. Also, I talked to Wade this week, and Tom had sent us keys to give away for trivias on Monday. Many of you have received those. We got like 15 of them, and uh, to hold over while the transition of the company was going from Tom and Janice over to Wade and Scarlett. Anyway, back to Wade. I talked to Wade this week. The last 2 weeks, we didn't have any keys. They have picked back up everything that will be shipped from this point going forward for the rest of this year will come from Wade and Scarlett at santascloset.org. And he's mixing it up. He's sending little care packages like Tom did with a lot of little trinkets and things in there, specialty stuff. So look forward, if you win, to getting that special little box from Wade and Scarlett over at santascloset.org. And we want to thank them again immensely for their help in promoting the show on Monday and being one of our contributors. All right, Randy, let's go ahead and stick that
Cool.
question out there too.
Question now it made me hungry earlier with that something burger, but now this question here. Oh man, you're torturing me, Bob.
Well, we got the burger. We have to have dessert, right?
Have dessert. That's right. We have to have dessert. Saunders Candy and Dessert Shop dates back to 1875 in Detroit here. Back to 1875. That's 100 years before I graduated from high school. Wow, that's a long time ago. The shop gained popularity due to part from a single dessert that they invented, which featured an airy, just lovely airy pastry shell, vanilla ice cream, and some warm, yummy, chocolatey topping sauce. Now, what was the name of the treat? What did they name it? And I'm just going to ask this also. I see Mel just logged on. Since Mel has a culinary degree, she will probably know what this is. What is actually the name of that pastry? Is it got a certain name also? We know vanilla ice cream is vanilla ice cream, but the airy pastry is called something too. It's got a French name to it. But
Oui.
so it's but no, it's yummy. Oh, that's not French. Yummy. But yeah, it's what is the name of the dessert that Saunders invented? It's has a famous just a phrase. But also I'm just curious how many people know what the pastry itself is actually called also. I'm just curious. So we'll see. We got something coming out there, but Diane, bumpy cake is yummy, but that's not it. Bumpy cake is yummy, especially when you put it underneath the salamander and it gets all drippy. And oh yeah, that's good. But
killing me. All right, so real quick, while we're waiting on some answers to come in here, Bart Gaffney says, if I can, a shout out to the Wisconsin Santas. I finally got the opportunity to meet locally with some of my fellow brothers and sisters in red. It was nice. Hey, it's always a good day when you get to meet with your fellow brothers and sisters in red.
I mean, that's great. Yeah, it's more bumpkin. No, it's not called bumpy cake. That's not what the dessert is called. And wow, I know you got a culinary degree. Didn't you go to Johnson Wales there, Mel? Right down the street from the CIA where I went. That's good. It's good. Now, problem is now I'm hungry and I'm not going to even think about the rest of the show.
Well, we had peach cobbler for dessert last night, and it was awful good. But me being diabetic, I don't get to
Just a
have a
little bit.
spoonful, and that's it, and I'm done.
I bought
But
some,
it was no sugar added and low carb. So
I bought some
my
Girl Scout
numbers were
cookies.
still good last night, so that one bite didn't hurt me any, but it sure was
that's
good.
good.
I just left it on my tongue for a while.
Savor this. It's kind of like a glass of wine. Just savor the flavor for a little bit. The swallow wine.
Exactly.
Well,
All
that's
right,
good.
guys.
Let's see if we can get some answers to that one. What is the dessert name of the ice cream, pastry shell, and chocolate sauce name? It's three things put together, has one name.
I figured this one would come up quick. Kimmy's getting close. Getting close.
Getting close.
There's a little bit that goes with that, Kimmy. If you can add the first couple of descriptive, what you call those adjectives? No,
Yeah.
whatever they.
Well, one's an adjective. One is actually would be a noun, right? The one thing is
There,
yeah.
okay, there you go. You're correct. You're correct. Adjective and a noun to the front of that. Oh, looks like we got some good answers coming in
Got some
now.
good answers coming in now. Oh, look at that. There you go. All right. I knew I could count on you, Mel, on knowing what the shell meant, what it was.
Huh?
I have a winner, but they're not eligible yet.
Oh no, that's bad. Okay, well, you guys keep working on that.
Keep on typing in.
I will tell you that we have the correct answer in the queue, but the particular person is still in timeout. So someone steal that from him real quick.
I think it's been
Ah,
stolen.
I think it's been stolen.
We're good now.
All right, fantastic. Okay, so we'll readdress that here in a moment. Let's go ahead and move along and do this next, and we'll be right back in just a minute. I want to address Bart's question over here that he poses to me. He says, "How long did it take you to grow your mustache that long?" Bart, I'm constantly trimming on it because you always get those that are longer than others, and you try to keep it uniform. But gosh, man, I haven't cut my mustache off in wow 25, 30 years. I can't remember the last time I cut it off. I always have had a mustache. Didn't always have the sides. I wore it, just around my mouth, chin. What do you goatee? I guess you call that. For years, but I would say average person takes about 2 years for it to grow out to a comparable length of what mine is.
Yeah.
Also, you just have to constantly, work with it, train it. Finally, got mine to act right more so with a small wand curling iron. It's no bigger than my little finger, but it's about that long, and you can just take. But you got to be careful because you'll burn yourself. Matter of fact, last week I don't know how many noticed, but I had a scab where I burnt myself with my curling iron. But I don't always use it. Sometimes I can just make it, work right. It depends on if I'm having a good mustache day or not. But again, something that Santa Tim Conahan teaches, and it's really valuable. Rex Ray knows this. He uses the same technique. Is you don't only take your mustache, but you can grab some of this right down here underneath, beside your mouth, and pull it in. And you just got to be glued or hairspray or something, and work that in, make it look longer, make it look fuller. Uh, Again, you take these little pieces down right below the mustache itself in here, and pull them up and incorporate them in, and it makes it look fuller and longer. And I used to do that, but I don't have to anymore. Now all this is still down here. So anyway. All right, let's see. Do we have anything else? Randy went to culinary, not pastry arts. Talking, Melissa says she had a patient in the office. Who said that? I got those burns like that. My neck in high school. Oh, that's Parker again. Oh man, he keeps me in stitches. Stop it. Uh, okay, this just in the studio, hot off the wires, helping Chatterbox News. Again, guys, I know that we repeat this each and every week. We do get new viewers, and we're always looking at those folks that don't comment that are watching. There's a lot of folks that watch and don't ever say anything, and especially since we're on YouTube now. So we feel that it's worth going over each and every week. Randy, over to you.
Okay, yeah, coming up real soon, June 1st and 2nd in Rothbury, Michigan, is Christmas Performers Workshop brought to you by MAPS. But Santa True is doing a class again. The class is on performing and an interactive basis more than learning about the history of Santa or beard whitening or anything else. But that's June 1st and 2nd in Rothbury, Michigan. Then the same weekend, we're extending the weekend. MAPS is putting on, Michigan Associated Professional Santas is putting on a a free, yes, that's right, free weekend, the 3rd and the 4th, right there at Rothbury, Michigan. So if you want to stay, it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Just classes only Thursday and Friday, but we are doing some free classes on Saturday. But there's a lot of fellowship, and there's golf, and there's pool, and there's dinner, and there's movies by the fire, and a whole bunch of stuff going on. I've been logging in, but that's the 3rd and the 4th. And of course, Christmas Performers Workshop also is on the 10th and 12th, is down in Cincinnati, Ohio. Again, it's if you want to add to your performance value of being a Mrs. Claus or Santa, go to CPW. And then also then in August 12th and 13th, same thing, Christmas Performance Workshop. Santa True is out traveling in California. Well, actually, he lives in California, doesn't he? Is La Habra in California. Yeah, he's traveling basically to Ohio and Michigan for us, this side of the country. But then, then we are right around the corner from SOS. Man, it's going to be 2 weeks. Again, 2 weeks. July 13th, right through the 16th is the first week. And then the following week, the 20th through the 23rd, down in Branson, Missouri, School of Santas, where entertainment and learning come together. But there's so much good. You pay one price and you do everything. You get the shows, you get the entertainment, you get the learning, fellowship. And the first week, I guess, is full, or they can squeeze somebody in. I'm trying to squeeze somebody in on the first week. But the second week also, from what I hear, is real close to being booked up totally. So Spangle and them put a huge thing together for that week. So it's, again, you guys were talking about doing schools and putting money aside to go to some of these.
Yes, and I didn't check with Spangle this week, see if the second week had gotten any fuller, but I know we were pushing 80 last time I talked to him.
Yeah.
So, there's 20, maybe 30 spots left if he can squeeze that extra 10 in. So again, time's running low. We're down to about 7 weeks, I guess, maybe about 7 weeks. So
It's crazy to think the middle of July is only 7 weeks away.
yeah. So think about this: July 4th is even closer than that, right?
Yes. Yeah. We're talking a week before that, July 4th. In fact, I booked
Yeah.
another 2 shows today on July 4th. That'll be good.
Hmm.
Got 2 more
Very
shows
good.
on July. Just saw the contract come through the email again today.
Well, that's fantastic. Always good to be busy and have fun doing it. All right, so let's move along here. We want to mention again Gordon Bailey's Memorial, June 10th in Honey Grove, Texas, Church of Christ, 403 West Main Street, 11 a.m. Central Time. Santa Mel, Melissa Lynn will be officiating that for us directly after the service is over. And this is a celebration of life memorial service. The memorial barbecue will start directly across the street at Chrissy and Scott's house, 308 West Market Street. Had to get that West in there. And of course, donations to Gordon Bailey's Memorial Fund is still coming in, and we want to give a great big heartfelt thank you to all those who have given. And if you have not, consider throwing a little bit in. Uh, Still trying to meet that goal to cover everything in his last expenses. Let's see, anything else I wanted to talk about at
Yeah.
this point?
About that is there? It's going to be telecast
Yes.
live, so people that can't get down, like I can. I have a performance. I'm working at Toledo Zoo that weekend, so I can't be there, but I would love to be able to see it. I'm going to have time to be able to watch it on and it'll be replayed on YouTube anyway. So be able
That's
to,
correct.
if you can't make it there and you want to pay your respects and see how it is, you can watch it on YouTube and StreamYard and everything else. And like Bob said, I know you guys everyone here probably has already donated something. Maybe you can put a shout out in your own Facebook pages to other Santas. We can put something out there to get just that little bit more to get closer to the goal that Bob and Christy and everybody needs to cover everything for Gordon's for Gordon. And we all know what he did for the community. So
Yes, for sure. And I put it out there in print on the Sat Bob's group. Someone was asking about books, and just so everyone knows, Santa in the business of being Santa, professional technical training school is not going anywhere. Gordon has been working for years now to set the school up to be successful once he was gone. Of course, he wrote, all the books and given us all that great material to work with. I am the successor to the Sat Bobs. I am now head in charge. Got great instructors with me with Rex Ray and Chrissy Kovic, and uh, we got Keith Alton up in Canada. Senator Chuck Moore up along the northern states. Uh, Great group of people, very experienced, very knowledgeable, and we're taking a time out right now while we get all this stuff with Gordon taken care of, getting everything switched over. But start looking for classes, and I do mean classes. We're going to roll out a lot of classes this next year. So Sat Bob's is going to travel all over, be available anywhere and everywhere in the lower 48 and Canada. So just keep in mind that Sat Bob's is alive and well and moving forward.
Really is.
Okay. All right, let's go on to our upcoming guest and shows here, Randy. You ready?
Man, yeah, list gets longer and better every week. It's just crazy. This is again is for Tuesday Night Live, and we'll go back to what we said at the beginning of the show. It's that favorite F word, free on Tuesday nights. Our favorite F word, man. This show is free Tuesday nights. Tomorrow night, 23rd of May, Ted Flynn. Ted. Ted was the president of MAPS, Michigan Association of Professional Santas, for 3 years, and he's one of the top 10. He always likes to put stuff in, but you just get a hoot. He has so many stories. Done. He's got to tell you about also. Hopefully he tells you about his fishing deal he got, or
Yes, it's in there.
it's in there. Oh, fantastic!
It's in
That is a great story about being picked out a bunch of Santas, then do these commercials and being flown out to LA. And I mean, and he's here from Michigan. So he's got a lot of opportunities besides doing big box stores and what he's done to get maps going. And the Jingle Joy weekend was actually is Ted's baby, is invention. Also the Red Suit Conclave that we do in Michigan in August. So he'll tell you all about that. So that's just
Yes, it's all in there.
good. So
It's all in
hope
there. And
you got to come back.
Gotta warn everyone. Ted is another one of those, just like myself, that has lots to speak about. He likes to talk. So you tune in tomorrow night. Be prepared for a long show. Be sure and get you some refreshment and something to snack on, because you're going to need it to keep your energy up, to keep up with Ted.
He's got a lot of stories, man. It's hilarious. And, the funniest thing is, I kind of wonder if he'll still be sitting back. Ted likes to lounge back
Yes,
and talk on his Zoom meetings. So I'm curious if he's still going to be lounging back. But
when you see him on a Zoom call, whether you got all the little thumbnails, you can always point at, pick him out really quick, because he's the one that's leaning back.
he's the one laying back in his lounge chair. But that's good.
He is
Ted.
so
Tomorrow
laid
night,
back.
the 23rd. Then, oh my goodness, guys, the 30th. It's a secret. May 30th. But you guys got to stay tuned to next Monday. We're going to reveal who it is. You just don't. I mean, it's going to be it's going to be a don't miss her. Don't miss her. I'm not speaking very good English today, am I? Don't miss her.
Hey, it works. I like it.
As long as you guys understand. But really, on May 30th, it's a really special guest. I mean, you're gonna be blown away. But next Monday, we're gonna let you know. So come back and see us next Monday. We'll let you know.
Let's just say this. This is someone that we've been trying to get for some time. Another one of those that's been on our want list for a couple of seasons, and that we finally was able to come to a date that works.
Very cool. And then we got, of course, the 13th, June 13th is Julia Cracky.
Julia Cracky.
I'm sorry, Julia.
And again, guys, we've had to do some shuffling. Julia was supposed to have been on this week, tomorrow night, on the 23rd. Originally, we had announced that, but they had a death in the family, and she had to reschedule with us. So she's now back on the 13th. Same thing with Bruce. If you'll remember, he was having some medical issues and had to reschedule. So we had to scramble him. And then Jackie was gracious enough, because she was actually supposed to come on May 30th. but because of how long we had worked to try to get this other guest, and this was the only date that was available for this person, she was so gracious in saying, "Hey, I'll take another date, and again, I'll let you finish out from there."
Yeah.
Back to Julia.
It
Sorry,
is
Randy.
great. No problem. I mean, it is just a show. But we'll always be advertising and letting you know who's going to be there. And of course, it'll be on the pages anyway. Who's coming up? So, but Julia, I mean, she's the lady with the Santa cooling vest. Like I said, if you didn't see them there and in Gatlinburg, she'll show them and she'll have a great deal. They are amazing, amazing. Um, it's like I said, even in us northern Santas, then when it's sub-zero out, when you're inside doing a thing, you still need a cooling vest. Especially if you're doing a big thing and you've got your parade coat on, your this coat, your wool. I mean, they're comfortable. They're very, they don't bunch up. But she'll talk about it. But don't miss it. It's state of the art. I guess there's no way I can put it. They're state of the art to where they're made
Yep.
for everybody. So that's June 13th. June 20th is good old Carl White. Hi, Carl. Carl's here again. Thank you so much. Jolly Santa Blue Eyes. I love that. Hope you're gonna sing like that. Maybe. I don't know if do you even sing, Carl? I don't know. If you can type in, do you sing? Um, he's basically kind of new to Santa. Before 5 years is what he's been a professional Santa, but done a lot. Anywhere from yes he does. Yes, Carl says he does sing. That's great. Maybe that's why he does do the blue eyes. We're gonna have to hear you do My Way or something on the thing.
Another one with lots of great stories too. He's got some really cool stories to tell.
So don't miss. That is actually the 20th of June. 20th of June. Wow. Then Bruce, like Bob was saying earlier, we had to move Bruce around because he wasn't feeling good. Bruce Katowicz, the professor and instructor at University of Windsor. I'm going to talk about her voice and years things done and the old saying, I can't get it out of my thing, saying how to get to Carnegie Hall because he's going there to play. I think he's already been there and worked, but so it's again, Bruce will just lull you with his voice. It's just incredible. Then July 11th, Jackie, again, like Bob said, she's been very gracious about switching things around. Thank you, Jackie. Simply Mrs. Claus, some beautiful, amazing products. And again, thank you for switching things around. Being, she'll talk so many great things. Even Santas can learn from Mrs. Claus's many things we can learn from the Mrs. So she's going to talk about being a professional Mrs. Claus, of course, for years and of course, all the great products. And so thank you again, Jackie, for switching that around. You're fantastic. Then, wow, it's Branson. It's Branson time. We've got, we're going to have live feeds from Branson for 2 weeks with Bob and Scott and everybody, and of course Spangle. Me. That's right. I'm going to be there too.
You too. Randy's going to be there
I'm
helping.
going to be there too. So we're going to have some fun. Going to have some live feeds talking to everybody. It's going to be a hoot for those 2 weeks. And of course, we all know that down there is Ed Taylor's going to be there, which, like I said, he doesn't travel very much. So it's kind of a rare thing to see him go any place. I don't think he's really done a school since Denver. I don't think, has he, that I know of. I don't think he was at was he at Atlanta last year? I don't know if he was teaching in Atlanta.
Don't remember if he was at Atlanta or
yeah,
not.
I mean, I saw him in Denver. Why was it? That was how many years ago? So he doesn't travel very much. It'll be interesting, always interesting because his acting career and everything else and how he works from. So that 2 weeks, and again, just Branson's a riot. I mean, it's just. So don't miss it. Don't miss it. Again, I'll say it again. I know you guys get tired of it, but it's that F word. It's free. StreamYard,
Yep,
Facebook, YouTube.
Also, Deanna Golden will be back in Branson. Larry Talbert, the young lady that her and her family does the reindeer farm there in Kansas is going to be there putting on. And golly, man, I learned so much from her last year. And I've been to a couple of classes where there was others speaking, but she just went into so much more detail, and she stood up and answered questions. You got a room full of 120 something people. She answered questions forever, it seemed like, but fantastic person. She'll be there. And back to Jackie real quick. Gosh, she has so much experience. She's one of the top Mrs. Clauses in the industry. and she was there this weekend at the Santa Ana Holiday University. Did you catch the video that she put out or someone put out?
No, I didn't. I
Oh
didn't.
my
Yeah,
goodness.
I just saw some
Yeah,
of the pictures.
it was her making a special drink concoction that she has. Add different things, cinnamon,
Oh, I
you
did
know.
see. Yeah, I did see parts of that. I didn't have the sound on. Yes, I did see that. She had all the
So
little containers in front of her. Yes.
so we're going to have to ask her all about that when she comes on the show July 11th. Okay,
Just
golly, what a
talent, and more talent that we can learn from. And that's
I mean,
the
it's
whole
just
thing. And even if it's just, even if you know it already, it's just to help you energize yourself. And that's part of it too. It just keeps you and geeked up or keeps you like energized. Just wow. Don't miss it, man. It's fun. Like I said, I watch every Tuesday night on my 60-inch screen TV. I sit, put my feet up on my recliner, and watch it up on YouTube on the big TV. Scary for
man.
Spangle, but the rest of it's okay.
Sometimes I get so pumped up about the guests that we have coming up. It's hard to sleep at night. I tell you, to catch 2 winks, I'm doing good. But
I'm
what a lineup there that we've got coming for you. And this is going to carry us, something I did not mention in this, but I will because it comes to mind. July 4th, that's the celebration of our independence as a nation, correct? Just so happens. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. I say that a lot too, but it's so true.
It's true.
July 4th falls on a Tuesday night. Pretty cool. What's really cool is it will be our 100th show for Tuesday Night Live.
No,
Our
really,
100th
it'll be the 100th show on that day. Oh, see, that's very cool. That's like a sign, That's like that is like a sign. It really is.
blessing from the man above.
Yeah, it really
Absolutely.
is. That was meant to be.
So that's going
Wow,
to be a
that's
pretty cool,
cool.
be a pretty cool show too. We skipped over that date, in our lineup there, but again, I don't know if we. I've got a lot of things I've been thinking about how we're going to do it, what we're going to do, but that may be one of those shows where we just bring in a whole gallant of people and have a party. How's that
That
sound?
sounds like a great idea. I mean,
Yeah,
that's fun,
uh-huh.
fun. Wow, that's very unique.
What, what,
That's
Angela?
meant to be. That's meant to be. Then that's
He
so.
said,
Wow,
is
the
there a
100th.
patriotic Santa?
Patriotic Santa? Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Uh, you bet there is. You bet there is.
Yeah, there's that gentleman. He's got the suit. His coat is red and black and white stars. His pants are red and white striped, and great suit. Great suit. Some of the great suit.
Okay. Hey, let's reveal the trivia answer. I think it's a good time to do that.
Yep.
The airy pastry shell vanilla ice cream with some warmer than average chocolate sauce was named the hot fudge cream puff. Hot fudge cream puff. Of course, Carl had it. Fantastic job, Carl. But you're still in timeout. I hate it. I know, but it's the only fair way to do it is put. Once you won, go into holding. Well, I used to tell Parker, go stand in the corner for 30 days and
But
give
don't miss the show.
someone else a chance to win. And so, thank you, Carl, for that. But our winner was
Kimmy Claus.
Kimmy
All
Claus.
right,
That's correct.
Jimmy.
Kimmy gets it. So, gosh, Kimmy, I don't know if I've got your address, your mailing address. Send it to me or to Angela Mack, and we'll get that over to Wade and Scarlett and get your care package on the way.
And Mel got the right answer. What a pastry shell, the shell is called is patasciutto, is what it's called. I know
Yeah,
didn't go to
yeah.
bakery either, but it's a patasciutto. Just for extra credit. I just love the way it sounds. Patasciutto. I think it sounds good.
Think about it though. Cream puffs are so good.
Oh yeah,
But now
light and
you throw
airy.
vanilla ice cream and warmer than average chocolate sauce on top. Little piece of heaven right there for sure.
Oh man, you're not kidding. That hot fudge just dribbling. And somebody made a comment about ganache. Yeah, it's kind of a ganache, but it's made different. Hot fudge is made different than ganaches. Ganache is just chocolate and like a warm cream that's mixed together. This is
Yep. You know what that reminds me of, Randy? Kind of a magical moment.
oh
You ready?
ready.
Let's go.
Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Magical Moments. So good to see everyone again. Thank you guys for joining us again this Monday afternoon, taking your time out for a Bob Randall and Company show. But what I'm talking about again is something that we've kind of talked about before, but um, talk about magical things, and we have something that magical that we all have. And I know I talked about it before as our smile. But there's something else that's very magical to the children. And we have total control over it. No, it's not our suit to see if it's red or extra bling or it's not the toys we bring, but we have something controlled that we don't have to buy anything. Something that we have that we use every day. That sometimes we don't even think that's so magical. Wonder what it is. I don't know. It is our voice. It is our voice that's magical. That makes a huge difference. Um, we can use that so much to make the experience more for the children and families. It doesn't matter if it's moms or dads or grandma, grandpas or aunts or uncles. It doesn't matter. Our voice can change everything we do. Because without the excitement in our voice, without the happiness in our voice, we're just a prop sitting there. Let's say that's it. Because it really doesn't mean a lot if we just
Give me
talk.
sent me her.
Doesn't really mean much if we got to have that voice. We've got to have that excitement, that smile, and that's something that they remember. Because if we just say ho ho ho, it's not enough. We have to have that happiness in our voice. We have to have that smile, and that's very magical to children too. Is when we talk, we ask a question. When you ask a question to a child, you can't just ask a question, "What do you want for Christmas?" Man, that's just down. You got, oh, what would you like for Christmas, or what, however you want to do it. But you have to have that sound, that's either softness or whatever in your voice, that excitement, that extra energy even in your voice. That's will set you apart again from other Santas or Mrs. Clauses, because that's we can make ourselves happy when we talk. We can make ourselves sad. Oh, like when you're talking to a child and you just can sit back and you can talk a little sad for a moment. How was that? How did it feel when you lost your grandma? Or it's a sad thing. Let's pray together. Or you can be like very happy. Oh, you got the best, most wonderful shoes ever, and you can change your voice immediately. That's what we have. We have that magical gift to change our voice, to change our inflection, to change the feeling just by using our voice. We don't need props. We can have a inexpensive suit, or we can have whatever kind of beard. But we can make a difference just by the way we talk to the children. We can compliment them by our voice and make them feel like, wow, Santa really loves my shoes. Wow, he loves my shoes. Or you can, you really have to listen to Santa. And you're like, oh, Santa meant it. I really have to listen to him. So we can change that so much. So we don't even need props. We have our prop right there. Mrs. Claus and Santa has that all the time. Especially if you're, reading. You read a book and nothing is to make it a little bit more magic, a little bit more exciting, than just reading the pages. We all can read, but it's when you take it to that next level of using your voice and as part of your tool, um, is what we need to do. You can say, "'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house." Wow, there's kids running. They're leaving you already. They're already gone. Instead of, "Oh, it was the night before Christmas." Oh, and all through the house. Not a creature was stirring. Not even. Now, you guys afraid of mouses? Mice, mice, and mooses. So we can take our voice and just make it so much more magical, so much bigger experience for them. Again, I know you guys all know this and do it time in and time out. But it's sometimes hard when you're doing those 8, 10, 12-hour days. I mean, it's hard to keep and I know Bruce coming up will talk to us about how we can keep our throat from getting raw, how we can continue that. But he will talk about that. He gives great classes at actually Charles W. Howard about things like that, and he's going to talk about it coming up on thing. But that's what we need to do. We need to keep that so when we do the ho ho ho, because we've got to sound very very excited, that we don't ruin our throats and our voices. Or Mrs. Claus, except for Mrs. Claus, she can be so sweet. She can use that voice for tenderness. And sometimes when the children are afraid of Santa, oh man, that Mrs. Claus can just use that voice that sweet, soft, loving, caring voice that can just help the children melt. And next thing you know, they're sitting and smiling next to Santa. So don't forget, just our voice is as magical can be. We don't need the props. We don't need the 5,000. It's nice to have a $5,000 shoot, but man, use that to our advantage, our voice, and our inflections, and our attitudes. Again, that's another magical moment. I get to ramble again. Thank you guys so much, everybody, for listening. I can't thank you enough for being a part of Monday and Tuesday, and I can't be as blessed as being a part of it. Thank you, guys. Stay safe.
Good job, Randy. And voice inflection, you and Michael Howe are always the first two that pop into my mind when I think of that, because you guys use your tonal voice, your ups, your downs, your highs, your lows better than anybody in the industry. And Sean Marshall White says my voice automatically gets higher when I put my outfit on. Craziest thing, I become Mrs. Claus. It's so true, isn't it?
So true.
It's
It is.
amazing how that suit just transforms you.
It's like it's
It's
showtime and you're in it, everything changes, and you could be just sitting in the car going, oh, I'm tired, I'm tired, I'm tired, I'm tired. Hi kids, how are you? You're just right on the money, right? And it I did my show on Saturday. It was like doing, and it was cold and I was tired, and it's like, okay, it's showtime, it's time to do a magic show. I've got 12, 14 children sitting on the bench at a park. Hi guys, it's great to see everybody. Where's the birthday? It's like you just got to do it. You've got to change that voice. You've got to change it. And now it's showtime. So, and I think our suits are really help us out a lot to keep that. But don't ever forget that voice is, man. We have a great gift that we can use that to our advantage.
It
Thank you
reminds
again.
me of a couple of weeks ago, a Santa had wrote me and told me, he says, Gosh, Spangle scared my wife to death when he came on Tuesday Night Live. His voice was so high pitched, and he came in with such energy, she jumped. And again, Spangle's another one of those that uses that tonal
Yep.
that can really get your attention. Let's see here. Parker says I have to learn a new magic trick. Doctor said making cookies disappear is not good for his A1C levels. So true. So true.
Well, you can do that Oreo one I did last week. It automatically comes back. You don't really have to chew it.
Yeah, very, very good.
And the other cookies you don't
Good
want to
point.
eat because they've been covered in shellac for 3 years. You don't want to eat the other ones. They've been covered in shellac. You don't want. That's a good way to not eat the cookies there, Scott.
Yeah, I know you had said that your wife had made the top cookie, the real cookie, that one right there. And
That cookie is
I
3
noticed
years old. That's
last
3
week
years old, that cookie.
somebody asked you last week about the cookie or about where you got it or something. I don't remember, but anyway.
Yep, that's a real
But
sugar cookie that has been covered with sprinkles that was shellacked, and it's still just as perfect as it was when it was baked. It's crazy.
good
It's all
point.
tricks of the
Fantastic
trade,
job, Randy. All right, so we're going to move right along and let's get into Santa's flight checklist next.
Oh, yes.
All right, Santa's flight checklist, doing your homework up front and making sure that you are well prepared. Today's Santa's flight checklist, let's talk about our body language, demeanor, kind of go hand in hand. And this kind of goes with also Randy's segment on voice inflection. Once we're suited up, beard and hair is fixed, boots polished, fur toppers and suit fur is brushed, and it's time to jump into the sleigh and transport to your event. Remember, always be well prepared. I'm talking demeanor. Get your mind in the right frame of mind while you travel, as you're getting ready and while you travel before you get to your event. First thing you got to do, though, is check that ego at the door. I mean, it's really easy to get a a big ego from what we do, and again, the attention that so many of us crave when we go to these events is part of the adrenaline. Always be humble. You know, think to yourself, how would Santa really enter this event? How are you going to enter, depending on what you're doing, if it's corporate or if it's a tree lighting? Get your right frame of mind, your demeanor in place. What would Santa do and say as he arrives to these gigs? Think about how Santa would walk, how his posture would be, uh, how his body mannerisms would be. Those are all things to think about as you're getting yourself prepared and getting mental prepared for the show. How would he approach the children? Each event is going to be a little bit different, so you got to prepare and know ahead of time how you're going to go in. Does he give them a pat on the head? I catch myself patting children on the head a lot. I don't know why. It just seems like something that Santa would do. Does he pass out knuckle bumps and high fives to everyone, including the adults and organizers? I think that's something that most of us all do. And it addresses each and every person as you come in. Get in that frame of mind and take command of the room or the event. Be Santa in every way and give your undivided attention to every single person you come eye to eye with. Look them in the eye, address them, make sure that they feel special for that moment that they're standing in front of Santa. Now, what happens if you're out and it's pouring down rain? Eric and Moesha, this is for you guys. If you're out, it's pouring down rain as you exit the sleigh. Are you prepared with a poncho, a slicker, or even galoshes? Now think, you enter with all this extra garb on. What are you going to do? You're going to make it part of your entrance. You're going to add it to the show. Be sure and tell the children that the great blizzard you left behind at the North Pole has turned into rain, but you were prepared. And as you take off the galoshes, as you take off the poncho or the slicker, make a little production out of it. Shake it off to the side. Find a place to hang it up if there's a place to hang it, but incorporate that into your show. Demeanor. Demeanor means a lot as Santa and Mrs. Claus because we've got to not only look the part, we got to play the part. And that is today's Santa's Flight Checklist for Monday.
Fantastic. That is so true, especially checking that ego and all that. Man, because it can happen so easily, especially, you get flown in a helicopter, you land someplace and, there's 1,000 people there. You're like a rock star, but you got to remember who we are.
But
We're
again,
Santa, and
can't
you
let your ego get the best of you, though. You got to
don't let
remember,
it get
check
the
the
best.
ego.
And man, Bob, I like your ending thing to add in that in as part of your routine, part of your demeanor, especially that line. Oh, the North Pole, it was snowing. It's not snowing here. So you just, man, I just thank you, Bob. I just learned something today. See, that's why this is so fantastic that I never thought about making that as then taking that as well, it's raining now. It wasn't raining at the North Pole, but you make a complete thing out of it instead of like get that disgusting. I know it's easy to get a disgusting look on your face for when it's raining, but dynamite, Bob. That's.
And I owe the inspiration to that, the second half of that, the last part of that, to Eric and Moesha. Chatting with them on the telephone yesterday, and they posed that question to me, and I thought about it for a second, and I gave them that same answer, and turn it into part of your show. Make the best out of it. And of course, Eric was driving, and he never even batted an eye. Straight on down the road, and Moesha sitting over with the phone, and he just says, "Count your blessings, not your sorrows."
Oh, great. Oh, fantastic.
I love those two so much. They are such quality people.
Man. Wow. Yeah, see, but that is, and like you said, fist pumps, I do it as many times as you do. And you're like, you got to part the seas, you're kind of fist pumps. And I like to do a weird thing with the wintertime up here. Of course, they wear stocking caps. A lot of the children, I'll take their stocking caps and I'll slide it down over their eyes, and of course they wait a minute, so you pulled it back up, and it just is fun to do with, or when I shake their hands, I'll pull their gloves off. They'll pull the glove off. Oh, that's yours. I'm sorry. And it just, like you said, you try to interact with as many as you can. You can if there's thousands there, but
Right.
but Bob said, he said, is as much as you can to make them feel special. And that's
For that moment.
so
That
well
moment,
said and
you're
so
right
needed.
there.
Yep.
You got them 101.
Yep.
And
Wow.
again, with the hat and the gloves, make it part of your show.
Yep.
Put it in as
Put it in
part
there.
of your show.
Yep.
All right. Wow. What a day. Another great day. Fantastic. Anybody got any questions? That's the first thing we always like to ask after the magical moments and the Santa flight checklist.
Got any comments or questions? Man, if not, you guys are just, again, thank you enough for joining us always on Mondays, and put the word out, hit the like button, and of course go to YouTube and hit the share button, and watch the show and everything else on YouTube. So
Jackie's got a comment there that we need to address. I had not mentioned this, but she is correct. Shirley Weiner presented a class on reading at Santa Ana Holiday University in Medina this weekend, and says she will be giving the class in Branson. Don't miss it. We learned so much from her. That's correct. She is also on the slate as one of the presenters at Branson this year, 2023, both weekends, as far as I know. So don't miss Shirley there. Fantastic job she does.
wow.
Fantastic. Anyone ever been asked to join the local Chamber of Commerce? The lowest entry level membership is $250 a year. Parker Rex Ray is part of his Chamber of Commerce. I'm pretty sure down there, a big part of what he does. Ask Rex. Rex just put up another great and informative show, guys. Looking forward to tomorrow night. And again, Parker, reach out to Rex and see if he can help you on that. He can and tell you if that's what he gets out of it and what he contributes.
Yeah, any of your local organizations, you could do that. I don't know if that's an average price, or if that's like a universal USA price, or if each city might be a little different. Or
Yep. All right. Fantastic. Great show. Thank you, Randy. As always, you make the show everything that it is, and we appreciate you. And looking forward to tomorrow night with Mr. Ted Flynn, who also has a lot to say, as I mentioned. So be prepared.
Funny stories, especially his jokes are definitely dad jokes though too, but they're summer moaners, I tell you, but they're good. He'll I'm sure he'll say a few. So again, thank you everybody for joining us. Most of all, stay safe, stay healthy, and most of all, stay magical, guys. Thank you for joining us. Without you, we wouldn't need to be here. Again, thank you. Bob, Angela.
Thank you, Randy.
That's
Have a great
incredible.
what's left of the week, and everyone else out there, have a great week. Be blessed, and stay magical. All right, thanks.